you! I told you not to dare save him! Somebody call the police!
That was the authority here.
I told everyone what would happen!
Police, now. Paramedic is down. She has a bat.
Hold her! Keep her away!
I warned you. I told you not to dare save him. You should have listened. Drop a comment and tell me which country you are watching from. I believed there had to be a limit to the nosiness the clipboard patrols the smug warnings with fake smiles. I told myself nobody could sink lower. I was painfully wrong. It started when my cousin Toby flew in for a short vacation. Dark-skinned, sharp-witted, endlessly polite. The kind of guest who washed dishes without being asked. The first morning, Karen appeared near my driveway pretending to inspect sprinklers that were not hers. Later she knocked, claiming she had noticed a strange individual near my house. When I said it was my cousin, her smile froze cracked, then reset. Things shifted after that. Karen began timing our movements. She stared at Toby like he was a math problem she refused to solve, circled the block slowly whenever he sat outside, asked where he worked, how long he planned to stay, whether he had permission to reside here. A few days later, she called voice sugary but sharp. She asked why my so-called cousin was still in the neighborhood. I asked what she meant. She said she was only checking and making sure everything was temporary. I told her his plans were none of her concern. She laughed once, then said people like him tended to overstay. That sentence told me everything. At the next HOA meeting, Karen took the floor longer than usual. Non-residents draining resources, using facilities they had not paid for, creating risks. She never said Toby's name, but every sentence pointed straight at him. Nobody challenged her. She proposed stricter guest enforcement dressed as a temporary measure. 2 days later, every rule changed whenever Toby was present. Gym restricted. Pool wristband questioned. Lounge denied. I confronted Karen. She claimed innocence, then warned me that pushing back could escalate matters. She was not calming anything. She was weaponizing rules. One afternoon, Toby went to shower humming off-key like he always did. I was in the kitchen when a sharp scream tore through the house. Raw and panicked, I ran. Toby was on the bathroom tiles, one arm twisted beneath him, face pale, breathing uneven. He had slipped hard. The ambulance arrived fast. Paramedics moved with calm precision. Toby cracked a weak joke trying to stay brave. I was just starting to breathe again when a familiar voice sliced through. Karen stormed in and demanded the paramedics stop immediately. One turned confused and asked what the issue was. Karen pointed at Toby and said he was not a resident, did not pay HOA fees, and had no right to community services. The paramedic explained that emergency care did not work that way. Karen raised her voice. Rules were rules. There would be consequences if they continued. The paramedics ignored her and kept working. Karen grew louder, pacing and jabbing her finger at Toby like he was a violation notice instead of a person. When the stretcher rolled toward the driveway, Karen vanished for a heartbeat, then reappeared gripping a metal bat. Someone screamed her name. Karen did not slow down. She sprinted. The first swing cracked into the paramedic head with a sickening metallic ring. The second slammed into her shoulder as she folded and hit the ground. Unconscious. Silence detonated into chaos. Phones flew up. The bat clanged on pavement. I dropped beside the paramedic and checked her breathing. Alive, barely. I looked up and saw Karen still pacing, still yelling about rules, still insisting she had warned everyone. Eyes wild and detached. I called the police. My voice did not shake. Officers arrived fast and commanded the scene. Karen tried to walk off. She was stopped, cuffed, and dragged toward the cruiser, screaming about lawsuits and power. Body cameras caught everything. The bat, the strikes, the collapse. Every witness finally speaking. The paramedic survived after emergency surgery. Karen was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and obstruction of emergency services. The judge gave her 6 years in state prison, citing complete lack of remorse. $485,000 in restitution for medical bills, lost wages, and trauma damages. The HOA removed her permanently and dissolved the committee she controlled. When she was taken away, the neighborhood did not cheer. It breathed. If this story hit different, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Do you think she got what she deserved?